Hi, and welcome to Paper Route Scrapbooking. I'm Nadine, and today I'm going to be working with Sketch 10 from the one-page sketches for 6x6 paper pads class with Allison Davis from Scrapbook Generation. Okay, so today I'm going to be working with this 6x6 paper pad by Jilly Bean Soup. It's called Country Pumpkin Chowder 6x6 mini pad. And it is kind of like a kitchen-y theme, I guess. Flowers, calendar, some numbers. So I have actually tucked this paper pad in with this Bo Bunny collection because I felt like the papers and colors coordinated really well. And I didn't have anything else to go with this paper pad, so I thought if I mixed it in with here, it would work out nicely. And for this particular layout, I think it will because I am scrapbooking a family photo. So here we go. For Allison's sketch, she had a bunch of 1x6 strips across the page, but here she had like a 6x6 full sheet and a 4x4 photo. So the 6x6 square nicely framed the 4x4 photo, but because my photo was 4x6 and I didn't want to cut it down to 4x4, I decided that I was going to just extend the 1x6 strips in and do an extra strip on either side, and then not use a full sheet. And then when I was looking through the options sheet, so in her class she includes like, I don't know, sheets with like, I don't know, 20 plus different options using the same sketch, but like changing it up. So changing it to fit 4x6 photos, changing it to make a double page layout, changing it to use more photos, less photos, 8.5 by 11 version is quite a lot of work in my opinion. And this was one of the options, and I think it was option 16, but I didn't write it down, so I can't remember exactly. Anyways, this is what I decided to go with. And then she had an embellishment cluster here and an embellishment cluster here. And hers was arrows. Mine are not going to be, but I stenciled some hearts in on mine before I wanted to do the hearts before I laid down the paper. So it kind of looks like the hearts are kind of falling off the paper or out from behind the paper. And then this is a sticker that I didn't realize how sticky it was, and so when I was like checking things where I wanted and what I wanted for my layout, this sticker got stuck here. So it's gonna stay there whether I want it to or not. So that's that. And let's see, what else was I gonna tell you about? Oh, this paper I got probably a year or so ago at a garage sale, and it has some really great cut aparts. So if you have this in your collection, these Polaroid cut aparts are fantastic. And these cut aparts are great too. Like, even if you're not doing anything for family, but you just like the colors, it's got like lots of labels in this one. I love that. And I had 2 of each of these. I don't know if that's what originally came in here. 18 sheets of double-sided pattern paper and 1 sheet of stickers. I don't know, but the person I got it from had, I think, stuck extra things because there are like 3 of some sheets. And then this also I thought would be a good cut apart sheet. I did cut some things out to use on this layout, so I think I'm gonna tuck these in my crop bag to fussy cut when I'm, you know, not wanting to be creative or just want to visit while I do something easy. Let's see. Okay, and then I, instead of there was no alpha, or there was tiny alphas in this one, so it just had these little alphas on the sticker sheet. So I went to my alphabet box and I found these chipboard alphas from Basic Gray. And they just say chip stickers. Nook and Pantry. I don't know if that was the collection or whatever, but it's from 2009. So this is where I got the word photo from. And then in an effort to continue with my product focus, I did go back to those little Happy Life navy thickers. But I'm getting down to the nubbins on these ones too, so I don't know how much I'll be able to get out of this. But stay tuned for a video that's going to show you what I'll do with this, this stack of used up thickers and how I'm going to move forward with them. Because I don't like to throw stuff away. I really don't. And if I've spent money on it, I really don't like to throw it away. So I'll let you know what, I mean, some of it I will, but I'll tell you what I'm going to actually do to make use of those. And so stay tuned for that. Okay, I'm going to set these things aside and start adhering things down to my layout. Here's my little goodie basket full of, that's just adhesive foam. I don't know why that's in there. And then, let's see. Okay, so she has her title kind of overlapping the photo, but I don't know if I'm going to do, well, I might put this little bracket there and see if I can get photo in that small space. I'm going to move it around on here. I'm going to pop these out. I'll set them aside because I like to use them as adhesive, dimensional adhesive. I was going to say adhesive foam, but it's not actually foam, it's chipboard. Yeah. So today is, today when I'm recording this, it's Thursday. And I have had the intention of catching up on this class this week. And does anything ever go as planned? Like, honestly, yesterday I woke up thinking I could scrapbook all day. And yeah, that wasn't going to happen. Like, what kind of universe did I think I was living in? You'd think that with my kids all moved out or on their way out, like my youngest is moving out here at the end of August, you'd think that they wouldn't have need for me anymore. But I don't know, they always seem to find things for me to do. Anyways, I did a whole big project with my family yesterday, which was quite a fun adventure. Maybe I'll tell you guys a little bit about that in a second here. Let me just remember what I was doing with this. Oh, okay, so then she also had 2x2 photos. So she had the 4x4 photo here and then 2x2 photos. And instead of 2x2 photos, I decided to use these, which I showed that cut apart sheet. So that's going to be that. And then this one's going to go here. I grabbed some word phrase stickers that I liked and some little bits from the die cut pack. Didn't find anything too big, but I did want some of my hearts to continue to show. So there's that. And I'm not really going to journal on here because it's just a family photo. There's not like a story to go with it or whatever. This goes in here. I got the date of the photo. I got some, this was from the cut apart that I showed you. And this one came from there. I was going to use this piece up in the corner here because just to bring that yellow across, because it's not quite the same yellow as the one in the papers, but I'm going to use it anyway. Put all that dimensional adhesive back in there. So that, I got some hearts punched out. Here we go. Yeah. Did I pull enamel dots? I did not. Oh my, what will I do? Okay, let's see what we got. So I think my word photo is a bit too long for the spot I thought it was going to go in. And so I'm going to move it down here. And I think I'll overlap it a little. And I'll start on this end, adhering it down. And I'm just going to stick it down for now, but later I'll go back and put some wet glue on here because it's chipboard thickers, or I guess not name brand thickers, but chipboard letters. And so we all know that the adhesive never quite does the trick. Although these are stickier than some. I guess they're basic grain. So they're old. I wonder what they were like in their heyday. So as I mentioned, I thought I was going to scrapbook all day yesterday and then ended up down a rabbit hole. So I opened my phone yesterday morning and there was a request from my daughter-in-law. She said, I want to do this project for our wedding reception, and I'm wondering if you can help me to gather the things that I need for it. And I'm like, okay. And I said, what are you looking for? And she said, well, I want it to be like a family tree of marriage. She said, because we have like a good record of marriage in our family. There's not a lot of divorce and whatnot. And she's like, I'm really proud of that, you know. And she said, I want to do a tribute to that. I'm like, okay. So she asked for a wedding photo of myself and my husband and my parents and my husband's parents. And then she also wanted my grandparents and his grandparents. So when she was saying like our wedding photo, yeah, okay. My mom and dad's wedding photo, yeah, I could probably scrounge one up. Grandparents? I didn't think my grandparents had a wedding photo. And anyways, so I was like, okay, well, I'll see what I can do. And it ended up taking me, honestly, the entire day. I don't have to work today. I'm going to scrapbook. Nope. No, I'm going to go down a rabbit hole looking for things that I don't even know if they exist or not. So I got on the phone with the aunties and the uncles and my in-laws and my dad, and we started tracking stuff down. And I didn't think that I had ever seen a wedding photo of my mom's parents. And so I asked my auntie, my oldest auntie, because she's kind of like the one that knows all the things, right? She knows where the pictures are and whatnot. And she said, well, I'm sorry, honey, but there are no pictures of Grandma and Grandpa's wedding. They got married in secret. I was like, what? Why did they get married in secret? She's like, well, probably because I was born only a couple months later. I was like, oh. I'm like, I guess that was a thing in the 40s or whatever it was. 50s. Can't remember now. They were married in the... Yeah, anyway. So she was like, yeah, no, sorry, there isn't any. So she did help me track down... they had a 25th wedding anniversary party that she actually threw for her parents. And so I ended up using that as their wedding, like in place of their wedding photo. And I was just like, that was such an interesting little, like, I think I kind of knew, like I knew that when I did my college courses, we had to do like a genogram. And so I knew that my aunt was born close to my grandparents' wedding date. And I knew that, you know, that, well, I didn't know, I guess. Grandma never actually said those words to me, but I suspected that she got married because she was expecting my aunt. Now, whether that's true or not, I really don't know. My grandparents always showed love and affection towards each other. So, I mean, if that was the case, then I don't think it was the only reason they were married. They really do seem to love each other. And then, anyways, so that was that little rabbit hole I went down. And then my dad didn't really answer me at first. And so I texted his sister and I said, hey, you know, I'm looking for this information. And she's like, well, she's like, I have this. And she took a photo of a photo in a frame of my grandparents' wedding. And she's like, this is what I have. And she's like, but, and I'm like, well, can I come borrow it? Because it's like in the glass. I'd like to like do a proper scan of it. And she's like, well, I would lend it to you, sweetheart, but I can't get it out of the glass. Like, it won't do anything better. She's like, but I gave your dad photos when I like downsized. I gave him the photos of the family stuff. And I was like, oh. And she's like, I think he has mom and dad's photos. And I was like, okay. So I texted my dad again, and he's like, sorry, I was in the garage. What do you need? And I said, hey, I'm looking for these photos. And he says, you have them. And so he's like, oh, well, let me go look and see what I can find. And he sent me one, and I said, oh, good. Can I come over and borrow that and like properly scan it? And while I'm there, I'm going to grab like your wedding photo of you and mom too. And he's like, yeah, sure. So I go over there, and he's got this box open, and I'm like, so what did we find? And he's like, I found a whole lot of tears. He's so cute. He was being like so emotional, and like he had this journal that it would have been my grandma's sister, and she had written every day for a while to my grandma, just like about what's going on in her world and, you know, what's happening. And it was just so sweet. And he's like reading it and like, just like feeling all the feels. It was so cute. So then he and I found the picture that I decided I was going to use, and I took it to I took it home, and I also, while I was there, snagged, my parents had like a terrible photographer for their wedding. And I hate to say that, but it's so true. The one picture of like the whole bridal party, it's so poor quality. You can't even see people. It's like, what is this? You'd think they got married in secret. Anyway, anyways, I did take it home. I did find something usable in the album. I ended up scanning all of their wedding photos, good, bad, and otherwise, into my computer. And I know I recently talked to you guys about photo organization. So that's on my channel. If you haven't seen that yet, there's quite a bit of info there. But oh my gosh, like I could not get over how I'm just using Hickory Smoke Distress ink in case you're wondering what I'm reaching around for over there. I could not get over how many photos that I actually found that were, you know, they weren't great quality, but they had, I think as you get separated in time, like some of those things just reminded me of so much. Like the church where my parents got married no longer exists. It was, I don't remember if it burnt down or if they tore it down to renovate or whatever, but it's not there anymore. Neither is the one where I was married. It was burnt down, arson. And then, so like looking at the photos of those places where I hold so many like family memories and stuff, that was just really heartwarming too. And then the other thing that kind of sent me for a little loop was, when I texted my mother-in-law, she was like, well, I said, well, can I borrow those photos to like properly scan them so I can resize them and to the size that Alicia wants to print them in? And she's like, well, why don't I come over and I'll bring them to you? And I was like, yeah, that'd be great. So she come over and we're scanning photos and talking. And so I got one of her and her husband's wedding, and I got one of her mom and dad's wedding, and then one of her in-laws' wedding. And it was just really interesting to see all of those things and hear my mother-in-law's story. She was very proud of her parents' wedding photo. They had a military wedding right after World War I, I want to say. Could be wrong. I'd have to look. No, it would have been World War II. What am I thinking? Get my timeline straight. And then, so we talked about that, and I don't know, the whole thing just ended up taking the whole day, and it was so much fun. But also at the end of the day, I'm like, I was going to scrapbook all day. I totally didn't. But I did scan all of those great photos, and now I have them. I also was able to track down the dates of everybody's wedding and the, what else did she ask me for? Everybody's wedding date and how long they've been married for. So like, I knew that my dad's mom had passed away quite young. She was, I think, 48, 47. And, but when I looked at everybody's like years of marriage, like my grandparents were married for like 40 some years. My parents have been married for 42 years. My in-laws have been married for like 47 or 48 years, maybe 49. And then my dad's parents were married for 25 years because my grandma passed away in her 40s. Like, I don't know. When I saw it written like that, I was like, oh, like that's kind of heartbreaking, really. But anyway, that was my rabbit hole yesterday. So let's look at this layout. We have, instead of the 6x6 square, we have a 4x6 photo. So we didn't do the square, we just did the strips, 1x6 strips all the way across. Great way to use those 6x6 paper pads and get a lot of different patterns, or scraps of paper even, right? I got my title. So here's my project focus of Quentin's April photos from 2019, and that's the date, April 14th. We got my class focus. I'm still working my way, catching up actually on this 6x6 class, even though it's running currently. This is sketch 9. No, this is sketch 10, week 10, and I think we're on week 11, so I have another one to do still. And then my product focus here, I used a Q for the O and an upside down V for the A, and I think this M was a W, and this Y was an X that I just chopped the little extra piece off. And like I said, that's getting down to a minimum, but stay tuned for what I'm going to do with all of these goodies when I decide that they're no longer, I think most of them I've gotten to that point. Like you can't make anything out of that. FJPVWX. Yeah, no. That's, no. Same with this one. It's all numbers and ampersands. This is all numbers, ampersand, hashtags. Yeah. Not much here. Chunky Monkey. I think I'm going to toss that into my granddaughter's album box because she is got the rolls. It's so adorable. I just want to squish her all the time. So I think that's it for my layout today. I have photos, a title, a date, and instead of journaling, I just put a whole lot of, I might actually put another one. I was going to just use this as my other word strip, but I really like the way those ones look, so I'll probably find another one to go on there. Watch for that in the close-up shots. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please click the like button and give me a thumbs up. Hit the show more button under the video description if you'd like to find a link to this sketchbook that I've been using for these layouts. And if you would like to see more of my videos, it would make my day to have you as a subscriber. Just click the subscribe button and be sure to hit the notification bell if you'd like to be notified when a new video goes up. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day, everybody.